Okay, welcome back to my channel. I haven't posted in a long time, so I was not telling you guys anything, but if you do want to see more of my content anywhere, follow me on Instagram. It's at @arianatogrande ____. Yeah, 3 underscores, okay? And I post a ton of stories, and I'm more likely to be more, more active on different platforms. So I'll be on my TikTok, which is I love Bob Floyd. Yes, I'm a Top Gun Maverick fan. Bob Floyd is one of the best characters. He carried the whole movie. So yeah. And anyway, let's get on with this very educational video, which is kind of crazy that it's very educational with everything else being more of like lighthearted fun in my life. So we're gonna do this. So anyway, we're gonna talk about the geography, and this is freshman year, Unit 1 of World Geo, and these are TPEs, which are terms, terms, places, and events. But these are terms because I've mostly found terms in whatever I've been studying. So let's start on with what geography is. Geography is the study of distribution and interaction of physical and human features on the Earth. And then as we break into it, you'll understand what human features on the Earth means as physical features on the Earth means, and what the interaction is between them. So there are different themes of geography, as in like location, place, region, human environment interaction, distance, like movement. There's a lot of them. I probably haven't actually said all 5 of them, but oh well. So the first thing we're going to start with is absolute location. Absolute location is the exact place on Earth where a geographic feature is found. So geographers use a grid system of imaginary lines to find an absolute location, and you might know what that imaginary lines are, but those are latitude and longitude. Latitude and longitude is how you find the absolute location. So it's like 70 degrees latitude, 60 degrees longitude, or something like that, and then you just place it wherever. It's a very bad explanation, but it makes sense in a way. So relative locations describes a place in comparison to other places around it. So for example, you may tell a person that the closest McDonald's is 3 blocks east of the convenience store, this like very famous convenience store, but you would say, as it's the meaning is, describes a place in comparison to other places around it. So if you were to give someone the relative location, you would say, the convenience store is 3 blocks, or like the closest McDonald's is of course 3 blocks east of the very famous convenience store, or yeah, just like that. So place. You might be like, oh, I already know what the definition of place means, but this is World Geo, so it's kind of different, or it could. So place is the physical features and culture characteristics. So that would be like climate, landforms, vegetation, and products of human-environment interaction. And you might wonder, what is human-environment interaction? Well, I'll tell you later as we get more into this. Then after that is a formal region, or formal regions, defined by a limited number of related characteristics. So, for example, the continental area and similar cultural styles. As you can tell, that makes more sense. That's it. There's functional regions. So far, there's three regions. So yeah. So functional regions are organized around a set of interactions and connections between places. So like San Francisco, as it's in the middle, on a floating island, basically, the big city, and you would have a different ways to get on, I guess, make sense. So yeah, it's like San Francisco. Perpetual regions, region in which people perceive or see the characteristics of the region in the same way. So this is mostly on what you see and what you hear, and if you live there, you would perceive it as something else. So basically, different characteristics, the characteristics of the region in the same way. So basically, different people, if you live in an area of that region, you and them will perceive something different, most likely, or in the same way as other people. Then now we're getting at the human-environment interaction, which is from the other one, which is the physical features and cultural characteristics, which is climate, landforms, location, and products of human-environment interaction. So the products of human-environment interaction. So human-environment interaction is a relationship between humans and their physical environment. So you'd learn to use what the environment offers them. So it would be us using trees to make wood and building cabins with it. Learn to change the environment to fit their needs. So we'd probably make a man-made lake or something close to that, or just build around something and move stuff to make it perfect for what we need. And learn to live with aspects of the environment to fit their needs. So I think it was learn to learn to live with environment. So you have to either move the environment or keep the environment where you are and try to live around it. And then after that, it's linear distance, which moves on to movement. Oops, I lost it. So linear distance is how far across the earth a person, idea, or products travel. You might be wondering, person, that makes sense. Ideas work with innovation, and innovation is something that we're going to talk about really close to it. But it will work with innovation and basically time that will help build onto this earth. Psychological distance refers to the way people view distance. So familiar places feel closer, unfamiliar places feel further away. So if I were to say, the Walgreens down the road seems closer because it's familiar to me. But if I were to go to, Sonoma. No, I already know where Sonoma is. Wait, let me think of a good one. If I were to go to Downey, California, it would feel it is farther away. But let's say, Anaheim versus Downey. Downey is unfamiliar to me because I haven't experienced the whole place, or I have, but I was really little, which is a bit unfamiliar to me. Familiar places like Anaheim, I feel closer to, but if I were to go to Downey, I would feel like that's a very far place, or it feels further away. When it's really actually you hit Downey, then you go to Anaheim. So, yeah. Next, we're gonna move on to culture. So culture has elements that will make it be culture. So as we said, with movement, ideas, and innovation. So innovation is the action or process of innovating in a new method, idea, product, and etc. Which moves on to language. Verbal way of communication. It can build up a group of people, which could go with can make a society in a way. Which moves on to dialect, which is a form of language that's peculiar to a region or a social group. So let's talk about the Philippines. Tagalog is the national language, but there can be different, the Ilocano people, they have their own dialect, which is very different, not really very different, but it's different from Tagalog, and it's more to them, which is why it's peculiar to a region or a social group. I would say it's special. I guess peculiar and special mean the same thing, but I like special more of the word. Religion. The belief and worship of superhuman controlling power, especially a person or thing. It's not really superhuman. I would say it's a different deity, a different thing. But there are 3 types of religion. Monotheistic, which is only one god. Polytheistic is more than one god. And animistic, I think, is I'm gonna double check because I'm not really sure. So animistic, I think it's animistic. I could be wrong. Yeah, okay. So animistic is the belief that objects, and creatures. So that's why I would say people and things, because I don't want to put it on one thing. And mythology fits into religion because it's technically people believed in a mythology that so it's like a religion. Now we're going to move more onto geography with, oh wait, I forgot to say something. Expression. Expressions of performance are expression with all the senses. So with expression, it'd be like Broadway. So Hamilton, Newsies, that is expression for different things. So 4.3 which is what I did for class, is geography. So a state with a capital S means a self-governing political entity. The term state can be used or may be used interchangeably with a country. So for the states, like the United States of America, a state would be technically lowercase because we aren't, like, a state in the United States isn't technically it has its own governing system, but it's not a country itself. Like, I wouldn't say Texas is its own country or Oklahoma is its own country. So anyway, a nation, a tightly knit group of people with shared common culture. So yeah, it's kind of like the United States. A nation state, a nation which has the same force as a state. Kind of makes sense. Democracy. So we're going to move on to different parts, like ruling in ways. So democracy is a system of government by the whole population or all the eligible members of state, typically through elected representatives. So you elect your own government. Monarchy is a form of government with a monarch at the head. So it's basically a family who got designed as like a royalty, and they just go and rule everything, choose whatever they want to. Dictatorship is government by a dictator. So a dictator, just like someone who just rules for a long time. Communism is a political theory derived from Karl Marx. I probably butchered that, but advocating class war and lean society in which all property is publicly owned and each person works and is paid according to their abilities and needs. I feel like there's different ways of communism, but this is like the most sensible one. And we're gonna talk about boundaries now. So natural boundaries are defined by physical features of land such as rivers, lakes, and mountains. So I'm going to use it in the sense of continents. So for Africa is not part of Europe or Asia because there is an ocean that can separate them, or I don't know what any others. But artificial fixed lines following latitude and longitude is I would say, like the United States and Canada. How like Canada is on the border of the United States, and the United States is on the border of Canada. And that's like a line. Not a fully perfect line. But last thing we're going to talk about is the local governments local governments are cities, towns, and villages all together, which are counties, provinces, and states, but states that aren't countries. So states like a province. A province is a better way to say it. But like a province. And states that are into countries with international and those countries that are made up of states, provinces, and counties I should have said that already. I was very proud of it. But it turns into countries with international, political, military, and economic units. So that's so far TPE, terms, places, events of Unit 1, which is probably what you're going to learn your freshman year. Okay, bye!